Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel for another video today. This is probably the second time this week that you were seeing me in this outfit because I filmed these videos back to back because, you know, when you have 3 children who are always in your face and a million dogs, then you film when you can. So I am pumping out a few videos today while I have time to film. So anyway, if you're new here, my name is Brittany and I have been on Mounjaro since 2022, the end of 2022, and I have lost 80 pounds, 81 now at this point as of this morning. So today we're gonna be talking about something that a few of you guys have asked me about, and I really wanted to make sure that I covered this. So if you have not been watching my last few videos, I recently decided to try dose splitting because due to the shortage, I was only able to find 15 milligram Mounjaro, and that was too much for me. I had before that been on 10 milligrams bi-weekly for maintenance, and 15 was all I could find. I decided to try it and I felt like death for 2 weeks. So what I did, I have a whole video on dose splitting, which you can find linked below, as well as an Amazon list I put together of all the supplies that I used to dose split. But what I essentially did was I split my 15 milligrams down to 5 milligrams. So I went from doing 10 milligrams bi-weekly to doing 5 milligrams weekly. And a lot of people have asked, a lot of people have been curious about how I felt after doing the first 5 milligram shot, if I had side effects, if I felt like it was as effective. You know, people want to know all of the things. So I thought that I would make a little recap video here of my first week doing that to see how I felt on that. Now, I do think that it's probably pretty similar to the compound, because it's sort of mixed, I'm assuming, in the same general way. So essentially, you know, I go watch that video to see how I split it, but you are injecting the medication and then adding bacteriostatic water to help you dose it better and prevent bacteria and keep it as clean and as sterile as possible. So what you do, or what I did, you do not shake the peptides. It's very bad. Don't do that. You just kind of rotate it around to make sure that it's mixed well. And then I drew up 50 units of the shot and gave it to myself in my leg last Friday. Now, today is Wednesday. Now, what I want to say is I did not have any major side effects from the 5 milligram Mounjaro. But if you know, then I haven't been on 5 milligrams in that low of a dose for a long time. So I was expecting to not have any side effects, if that makes sense. So I didn't have any like nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain. I didn't have any of my typical side effects. I didn't even have trouble sleeping, but if I look back on when I was on 5 milligrams the first time, I also didn't have those symptoms. Side effects for me really didn't kick in until the 7.5 milligram dosage. So I was kind of expecting. I went back and I watched my other videos, which is super helpful, by the way. I went back and I watched my other videos of 5 milligram before I did the shot to kind of get a feel of what to expect. Now, the first time I took 5 milligrams, I did have like the typical going up in dosage thing, but now my body has been on Mounjaro for so long that I think the 5 milligram was never going to affect me in any way at this point in my journey. So I didn't have any side effects. I did feel the fullness feeling on Saturday and on Sunday. So that was 2 days after the injection, which again was pretty typical. I will say that the fullness feeling was slightly less than what I have on higher dosages, but in my mind that makes sense because it's less of a dosage. So I had less of the fullness feeling, and I would say less of the effects overall. So less of the fullness feeling, less of the appetite suppressant, and less of about the same of the sort of food noise. I don't have food noise. I haven't had food noise all week. I do notice, and the main difference I noticed between going from 10 milligrams to a 5 milligram injection was that I actually get hungry. And I don't think that's a bad thing because I think that's actually a sign, if you're not getting hungry at all ever, that you might be on too much. So I didn't get hungry on higher dosages. On the 5 milligram, I do get hungry. My stomach will growl at mealtime, but I still can eat much, much smaller portions or much normal portions for normal people and be satisfied. And so in my mind, that is how I know that I'm on a good maintenance dose, because for maintenance, you don't want to be eating significantly less than your set point or your basic metabolic rate. You want to be eating around that amount so that you maintain your weight loss. So you want it to work just enough. So I feel like 5 milligram is a really good point for me in that sense. There has been a ton of research released recently saying that the 5 milligram and the 7.5 milligram dosages are actually the most effective for weight loss and weight maintenance. And just in the first week of being on that, I find that to be true. If I was on 10 milligrams every single week, I would still be losing weight 100%. I think transferring it out to being a biweekly injection helped me to not lose any more weight. So it helped me to maintain. But if I was somebody that was still on weekly injections and I was taking them, every 7 days, I would still be losing weight on those dosages. The goal at 5 milligrams for me is to not lose any more weight and to stay at my current weight. So, last Friday morning when I weighed myself, I weighed 171.6. This morning, when I weighed myself, I weighed 170.2. So we're sticking around right in that amount. If you've been around, my sort of normal set point, whatever, is 170 to 174. And as long as I'm in that range, then I consider maintenance to be working. So I think it's working. I think it's suppressed my appetite just enough. I don't want it. I want to be able to eat, right? I want at this point to be able to have just enough of the medication to turn down the food noise and balance my hormones out so that I can maintain everything that I have worked hard to do. And I'm also maintaining that through increasing my protein levels, which is something that I'm working on right now. Increasing my exercise, especially my weight training, that is something that I'm working on now. So I'm incorporating all of these changes in order to find that sort of happy medium to where I am getting the most out of my money and being the most responsible user for the drug. Meaning, in my mind, taking 15 milligrams and splitting them is also helping shortage issues, right? Because I'm filling it less often. So maybe if some of us are doing that, then it helps with shortage issues. So I wanted to give this little update here. No major side effects, but I do feel like is as effective as it has always been. My weight held steady this week and I am doing great with it. I am going to be filming a video later this week on me actually injecting it, cleaning the sterile vial, injecting the medication, because a lot of you asked for that are curious about dose splitting. So I'm kind of doing a little series here on all of the dose splitting updates. So yeah, I hope that this helped you. I do feel like it was just as effective as taking a 5 milligram Mounjaro shot. I felt the suppression, I felt the food noise be gone, and I want to make that clear. Everybody that I have known, that I've talked to, read about, that has been dose splitting, nobody really says that the drug has lost its potency. Everybody says that it works just the same as it does coming from the vial. As long as you follow the correct protocol, make sure you're researching how to split it, you're doing it in the most clean way possible, and following all of the proper precautions and directions to do it right, then you shouldn't have any problems. Another question that I got was if my doctor knows I'm doing it, and yes, he does. My doctor is amazing, and I want you guys to know that I never do anything without first talking to him. I actually shot him messages this morning when I was requesting the refill, and we were chatting about it. So he knows exactly the process I'm following, exactly how I'm doing it, and he is on board with it because he knows, like most other doctors right now, that the shortage for this drug is insane, and that over the next year or so, it's kind of going to be surviving and figuring out a way to do that in a healthy, clean, workable way. Okay, so that's what I wanted to touch on today. Just give you guys a little bit of an update. Let me know your thoughts below. Let me know if dose splitting is working for you. Let me know about shortage issues. Let's chat about it because I am feeling a little bit angsty about all of this and for all of this community and what it means. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you soon, and I hope you have a great day. Bye, guys.